The city that anchored below our feet contained countless souls, but their number was finite, as was the space provided by the Titan's walls. Constructed long before my revival, maybe even before the revival of many in the tower. Those walls were a monument to what humanity could become. Defiant, stalwart in their ability to remain just arrogant enough to propose that towering walls would be enough to offer protection from the external curses roaming in the wilderness of space. If only the city's denizens understood that not all threats were birthed from the black void of the beyond, that some threats, perhaps the most bellicose, were in this tower, the Mount Olympus of our age, god-kings battling one another for a chance of glory and wonder, a grandiose failing of pride amplified by a cheering populace from below. My eyes wandered over the horizon, up to the large gray sphere forcefully occupying my perspective. All that remained due to that, the traveler. It was impossible to wrap your mind around. Your thoughts danced on the truth of what it was or what its true intentions were, mocking your best guesses, most logical hypotheses, because the grand scope of our intelligence was that of an ant compared to things we face. Why us? My gaze was interrupted by my Titan companion. Her eyes contained dashing seas of blue, landscapes of white, and in the center was the black helmet of a traitor. She opened her mouth slightly and forced out a few quick words. "Not here. I don't like the look of the city." We continued our long walk up the stairs above the room of three. Occasionally you heard the boom of laughter and shock as guardians told tales of battle and discussed the most pressing intrigues from the fronts. Incoherent as they were, their voice seemed to echo one another, resonating a name of some dark god, the Reaper of the last city. You could almost feel the light tremble at an approaching power yet to arrive, but set on our demise. We reached the plaza above the vanguard. A walkway of silver lined the middle, separating green rows of life. We saw guardians hustling to and from the docking bay, eager to impress Saladin from tremendous moments in the Iron Banner. I kept my chin close to my chest. I had no intention of daring Saladin to set his sight upon me or reveal myself to anyone in the tower, especially not this awoken Titan. We paused, just overlooking the railing into an eternity of mountains. She began to manufacture words slowly. "This is the view that really matters. This is what we are really fighting for." Immediately, I was caught off guard by her vision. She meant peace. We weren't fighting for the city's survival. We were fighting so we could go beyond our walls of solitude in peace. Be free from mindless aggression, free from the quagmire of depravity, free from the notions of insanity. A short silence grew between us before I established enough courage to ask a question that would change my fate forever. "Your friend, how did he pass?" She stopped me, instantly grabbed my arm just above the elbow and clamped heavily against the joint. Her brow was enveloped by a dangerous scowl before she spewed, "My lover." The correction hit me harder than I had originally expected. What was this guilt? It was like a long string being pulled from my stomach. She recomposed herself before she spoke again. "You remember the first Iron Banner games, the ones in which Guardians were betrayed by one of their own?" I stepped back, pondering tactfully in my best response. I was floundering in this conversation. One improper word or movement, and I would be thrown from this balcony. Perhaps it was the fate I deserved. I found my balance and met her eyes with my own. "I know the story better than most." She cracked half a grin and offered me some respite. I dropped my guard before she continued. "I suppose you should. The actions of one warlock affected all your reputations. Now many find your stoicism and hardened composure suspicious more than resourceful. The venom lashed from her words, but she was accurate. She spoke of me, my betrayal to those I ended. The blood clearly lay caked upon my hands. All she need do was confirm my part in her lover's death. A single tear rolled from her eye. It crashed down onto the grass beneath her feet. The weight of a single droplet had more than enough force to cause me weakness. Her eyesight teetered down, chin collapsing onto her breastplate. She paused. She searched for the word of romance and honesty and security and all that I had taken. My friend was killed by a guardian just like those murderers in the first Iron Banner games. After that, she didn't move, paralyzed by grief. I could tell her the truth, set her free from all her burdens, ease my own suffering, but that wasn't the calculated play, the right play. It was brazen and rash. If I sought redemption, it was to bring those who wielded this awful power back into the light. That's what the letter asked of me, what Ikora asked of me, what the light expected of me. In one final move, I reached out, grabbed her hand, placed it in mine, and offered the only solution I had. I can help you with this, Syrah.